Hi, I'm Tiffany Fykes, your real estate expert in Nashville, Tennessee. You may not know this, but I used to live in Austin. I actually moved from Austin over 20 years ago to Nashville. And what made that move so easy was how similar the cities felt. And as I've been here, of course, the question is always, well, which is better, Austin or Nashville? And so I thought, let's dive deep on that today and figure it out. Which one's better, Nashville or Austin for you? So we'll talk about industry, we'll talk about music, because they're both known as music cities. We'll talk about cost of living, and then, what just the feel of the city is, what the weather's like, lifestyle, stuff like that. So let's start there, lifestyle and weather. This is, I think, where they're the most different and where your preference is gonna come in. So Austin has sunnier days, has about 3 weeks more of sun, but it also, with more sun, in being much more southern in the country, comes with a lot hotter days as well. So there were 80 days last year over 100 degrees. In Nashville, there were two days over 100 degrees. So it's very different in that. Nashville has 4 seasons. We get usually a couple days of snow, really tall trees. Like, the landscape is a 4 seasons landscape, but you also have colder weather. Austin's warmer. This is where it's going to be totally your preference. Now, because Austin has the warmer weather, the city as a whole is kind of more focused on outdoor activities. It's also got a little bit more of a bohemian vibe, where Nashville is definitely more rooted in the southern style, southern cuisine. When I moved here 20 years ago, it was completely different, very southern. And I used to joke that I moved 14 hours north to live in the South. There's a lot more diversity now in Nashville and the feeling, but it's still rooted in their southern roots. They're both kind of blue dots in red states, but they have very different feels as a city. So how are you gonna afford to live here? Let's talk about industry. What sort of industries are in these two cities? They're actually very similar. Let's start with Austin, and I'll just kind of run through them. So Austin has tech. When I was there, it was just Dell, but now it's Dell, Google, Tesla's there, Apple's there. Like, it is a tech hub in the United States. Still has music and entertainment. They do a lot more festivals. There's South by Southwest that's really well known. Austin City Limits, which is now ACL, really well known. Education and research, obviously with the University of Texas there in Austin, that is gonna be an anchor in the city as well. And then government is the 4th industry in Austin, which is interesting because it's the state capital, but so is Nashville. So let's jump to Nashville. Healthcare leads in Nashville. Most of the big healthcare companies are based here. This is the healthcare hub of the United States. So healthcare is a big part of our industry. Music and entertainment, of course, a lot of these are around the live venues. Nashville's music is really based around those iconic things. Ryman Auditorium, where every musician wants to play. The Grand Ole Opry, which was the birthplace of country music. That is what is grounding the music industry in Nashville, and why it's called the music capital of the world. Tourism and hospitality. Okay, this is a big one in Nashville. If you do not want to see tourists, stay away from downtown. Probably don't move to Nashville, because that is the number 3 industry in Nashville. And then last is tech. So there's a rapidly growing healthcare IT. We've got fintech, Amazon's here, and Oracle is also moving into town in the next couple of years. So it is starting to become a tech hub, but Austin is definitely ahead of Nashville in that piece. So what is it gonna cost to live here? This is where we go neck and neck in Austin and Nashville. Now, groceries, cheaper in Austin. If you want healthcare, it's cheaper in Nashville. Energy costs, a little bit cheaper in Nashville, like $10 a month cheaper. And then entertainment and services. If you're looking at things like a movie ticket or a haircut, that is going to be cheaper in Austin. So if you're gonna rent, right now it's cheaper to rent in Nashville than it is in Austin. But if you're gonna buy a house, it's actually a little more affordable in Austin right now, because over the last couple of years, they had an incredible growth with all the tech, and their house prices soared. Well, in the last year, 2023, their prices have come down. The housing market has just become a buyer's market, and the prices have begun to drop, which means it's now a little more affordable to buy a house in Austin than it is in Nashville. I mean, I can't tell you which one's better. Really, it could come down to weather, because everything else is pretty neck and neck. So if you like hot weather, Austin's gonna win. If you like seasons, Nashville's gonna win. Either way, they're both above the national average in cost of living. But if you're a renter, maybe you want to give a preference to Nashville. But that's how I've figured out what's the difference between Austin and Nashville. If you guys have any questions, or if I can help you with anything in the Nashville market or in either real estate market, reach out to me and I'd be happy to help.